You know, I hear this so much from parents. Every child is different. Every child is different. Yes, on some level, every human is different, but you'd be surprised. We're actually a lot more similar than we like to believe. And I really, truly believe that we need to stop saying this. Every child is different because they're being parented by different techniques. So the way I parent Arman has also changed over the years, because as somebody that's your firstborn, you're going to be a lot more cautious. You're going to be a lot more, you're just different with your firstborn than you are with your second and third children. That's just how it is, human nature. Even though my children have very different personalities, they're turning out pretty similar. And I know the younger two are very young still, but their thinking level is, I'm always told, much above their peers. People are often surprised when we take our children traveling. People are shocked at the way that they're behaving. You know, every person thinks their child is a rocket scientist. I'm telling you what other people are telling me. So my 5-year-old, whose personality is very different than Armand's, is also kind of rising above what is considered the norm for his age group. That's how I'll put it. So I do think that parenting makes a huge difference. Don't undermine that. It's easy for us to say, oh, every child is different, so this one's misbehaving. When I see children misbehaving, I note several things that the parents are doing different than I am. And my children are very well behaved, but I feel like it has something to do with parenting, because yes, they are very different, but there's some certain things that are consistently similar. I got called in for a meeting, like a parent-teacher conference for my middle son when he started school, and I was nervous. His teacher had called me in to, one, praise him. She said that she started the conversation with saying, I'm very concerned, and I literally had a heart attack sitting there. Like, I could my heart fall into my stomach, literally. And she said, he is just too nice. People like this don't have a place in this world. He's just too considerate of other people. He will literally give the shirt off his back, literally his jacket, his meal, his personal belongings, whatever anybody wants, he will give it to them. And I feel like some of that is his personality, but consistent parenting, I think, it makes a difference. Don't fall into that trap saying, well, every child is different. No, figure out what can I improve? Where does my parenting need work? And work on that. Don't just dismiss it saying, every child is different, therefore, no, what are you doing that might be causing certain behaviors? I really, really think that we have to start with ourselves. We have to look inward. And she says she was really concerned because he was so nice. And I hear this all the time with even extended families commenting on Ayan being too nice and that I need to work on him. So the reason she had called me in is that she said they had a dilemma because they have tables, different groups of tables, and that several parents had insisted that Ayan, my middle child, and so she said the dilemma was that she couldn't put a couple of them at the same table with Ayan, but several of the parents insisted that Ayan sit with them. So she kind of wanted to work with me and see where she could put Ayan so that he could help the most number of students. Can you believe that? I was just blown away by that. I went going in thinking that I was my son was in trouble or something, and that's what she wanted to share. So honestly, guys, yes, children are different, but at the same time, don't label them as different or everybody's different, so I'm gonna go ahead and give my child Gatorade and let them run amok during the school day. No, look at it and say, where do I need to work with myself and with my child, and figure out a game plan to make him or her thrive. Another question I had gotten, unfortunately when I went back I couldn't find it. Somebody had asked how I disciplined my youngest daughter, my 2-year-old, and that she had a daughter that was mischievous. I think she wrote that her daughter was just being kind of a little bad or whatever. I don't remember the exact wording. I'm sorry, I lost that question. But I don't discipline my 2-year-old. I don't see my 2-year-old as being good or bad, or I often say she's a handful. She's a different personality than my older sons, but she's 2 right now, and I have no doubt to believe that once she's a little older, she will be behaving perfectly in her own little way, just like they are, because I honestly think that parenting, your environment has so much to do with it. I think we get so caught up in saying, well, every child is different or every human is different. At the end of the day, everybody just needs love, affection, appreciation. I mean, come really down to the basics. We all need the same things, whether we're 2 or 92. We all need the same things. So I don't like putting those type of labels on. If you are looking inward and working with your child to make them your target audience and to make them the center of your parenting and not worrying about what other people are saying, then I feel like they will thrive. Mommy groups, I'm surrounded by plenty of parents that are always disciplining their child, and all I see is a sad child. A 2-year-old is not somebody that's going to even remember why they got yelled at or why they got put in the corner. And I'm sorry if that doesn't go in line with mainstream parenting. If Alina is ever sort of like throwing a tantrum or saying no or crying, I look at it as something personal. I think, am I not giving her enough attention right now? Why is she frustrated? Is she sleepy? Is she hungry? Does she need attention? Or, why are we even asking a 2-year-old to conform to what we think is our ideal? A 2-year-old basically is neither good or bad. A 2-year-old is just a 2-year-old living its life, trying to get its needs met. So I don't look at it as, if Alina is misbehaving, if she's throwing a tantrum, as as that she's bad. I look at it as, I'm not meeting her needs right now. So if she's throwing a tantrum, my first immediate response is she cranky? Does she need a nap? Is she hungry? Does she need my attention? Is she just tired of being out and about? Does she want to just relax and rest? So you have to look at it as, are her needs being met right now? Don't label your child as being bad, because if they keep hearing that they're bad, they will become bad. I mean, our words have a huge influence on our children. And yes, my 2-year-old's personality is very different than her brother's, but with the same techniques that I've used to get them ready for the world will apply to her too, because like I said, the basic needs of any human being are love, feeling secure, having attention from their parents, having their needs met in a timely manner. So if you're doing all of that, so if you feel like if your child is misbehaving, you need to look at yourself. What are you doing that's causing that? That's all I can say. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but I often just look at my own behavior, and oftentimes it is me. I mean, either she's tired or she's hungry, or I was busy and I wasn't giving her the attention that she needed, and so she's acting up to get my attention. And then you just drop everything and give her attention, and then problem solved. And sometimes when she's throwing a tantrum, I'll literally just pick her up and just hold her and hug her. I won't say anything. I'll just hug her, and 2 seconds, it's done. It's over. That's it. I didn't have to yell. I didn't have to raise my voice. I didn't have to threaten her. I didn't have to put her in the corner. I just gave her a hug, and that does it. So yeah, kids are different, but we all need the same basic principles. I'll leave you with one last thing that my middle one said the other day, and I was so surprised to hear that. So he has some baby pictures up in his room, and I guess he must have caught me like looking at one of his baby pictures when I was getting him ready for bed, and he said, so when was that picture taken? I said, that was day number 1. That was your picture that was taken at the hospital. You were only 1 day old. And he said, so the day before that, I did not exist. And I just thought that was the cutest thing. And I'll leave you guys with that. Let me know if you guys have any parenting questions. Leave them below. I will do parenting Q&As every week or every 2 weeks. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.